Alright, today we've got a quick review of the Polaroid wireless battery grip for the Nikon D7000. This is the main unit right here. It's a battery grip which basically extends the life of your camera by adding an additional battery. So instead of your camera just having one battery, you've got two now. So thereby doubling the life of the camera. It's a great feature to have if you're doing anything like event photography, you know, wildlife nature photography where you're out on long hikes and that sort of thing, and you just want to be able to shoot real quick without having to worry about changing out batteries. So it definitely comes in handy. It includes everything that you see here. Obviously the main battery grip itself. You've got the regular standard tray for the standard Nikon D7000 batteries. It also comes with this adapter, which is another battery tray, but this one takes AA batteries. So it's like you take 2, 4, 6 batteries on here, and then you can power your camera that way. That's a great thing to have, because if you are out and you are, away from home for long periods of time and you run out of juice from your, official Nikon batteries, you can just walk into any store, pick up some AA batteries, and you're off and shooting again. Of course, it's going to take, like I said, it takes about 6 AA batteries, and with those, you're not going to get as much shooting life as you would off of an actual Nikon, like the camera batteries, because there is a lot of power drain. But again, in a pinch, it's definitely worth it. You also get this, which is why they call it the wireless. It's a remote photo trigger, and that's pretty much it. It's just like the standard one that you can get. I believe it's optional for the Nikon. This doesn't actually have anything wireless built into it. This just shoots into the infrared sensor that's already on the D7000. So this is just an alternative to the ones that Nikon themselves sell. But it's nice to have. It's a nice little thing that they threw in, and it works relatively well. I was getting mixed results the further away I got, but if you're only like maybe 10, 15 feet away at most, you just want to do like a family portrait group shot and you want to be in the picture, it's great to have in that kind of situation. But anything longer than that, further away than that, or since it is, kind of a direct line of sight, you don't want to be, if you're out and it's a really bright sunny day, there's a chance that the signal may not make it either. But again, it's, it is what it is. They just kind of throw it in, so it's not, really that bad to have. One of the main advantages of this system versus the original like factory Nikon battery grip, of course, number one is price. The Nikon battery grip, you're looking about $215, give or take, depending on when and where you buy it. This one, you're looking about $50. So it's a pretty significant price difference. For that price difference, for the low cost, that this comes in at, the build quality is actually really decent. The texturing on it feels really good. It's sort of a, like that sort of rubber texture to look like leather kind of a surface to it, which feels really nice. It holds really well. You do have the separate button right here for doing when you switch to vertical orientation, and a separate power switch here so you can power the grip on or off. On the back, you also have the control ring that again mimics what's the control dial that's on the back of the Nikon body itself. You also have the directional controller. You have all these buttons that all function perfectly well on the D7000 and recreate their duplicates of the other buttons that are on there that you can use when you're in a vertical versus a portrait orientation. Again, the unit itself is pretty simple. Right here, I've got a D7000 battery that just kind of slides in and locks in, so it's secure in there. That just slides into the body itself, and then you just turn this knob and then flip it down, and that's it. So now it's in there. It does come with this little cover for the actual control terminal that you just pop off. Set that aside, and right here I do have my my D7000. Now, one of the things that's a drawback, and it's not this one in particular, it's all the battery grips for the Nikons as compared to the Canons. You have one battery that's in the actual Nikon body. That's your first battery. Your second battery is in here. The problem with that is that when you want to change out both batteries, you have to actually unscrew this off of the bottom of your camera. That's not convenient, and I'm not sure why they do it like that. With a Canon, there's actually a port that extends out, and it actually slides into the camera body where this battery normally would be, and there's no battery in there, and there's 2 batteries in the grip. That's a much better system, because then when you open this tray up, you've got both batteries on the tray, pop them both out, put new batteries in, slide the tray in, one latch, it's flipped, it's locked, you're good to go. It's a much faster system. I don't really understand why Nikon has this system, but that's what they do. Again, it's nothing against the Polaroid one, because even the factory Nikon one is the exact same way, and I don't really necessarily understand it. On the bottom of your Nikon's body, you'll have this little rubber gasket that protects the terminal, so that just pops right off. And conveniently on the Polaroid body, there's a little spot for it. So you just stick it in there. That way you'll always have it. You're never going to lose it. You pretty much line up this pin right there. Is going to go into that hole right there. Line those up, and then just start threading in the dial right there. Just keep going until it's nice and tight. Once it's tight, so you get that little, the light comes on right there, and that just sort of indicates that, hey, it registered that something went on right there. And when you turn it on, you'll also see right there, it's probably not going to show up on the video, but in your LCD display, there will be the little indicator. It says BP for battery pack. Again, that tells you that it knows that there is a battery attached. And now that's the camera with the battery attached, with the battery grip attached. It does add some weight to it, does add some size to it. You know, depending on how you shoot and what you're shooting, that's actually kind of a benefit. It's actually kind of nice having a bigger body. It's easier to hold. It's a little bit better balance, so it's kind of nice. It even gives it a little bit more of a pro feel, having a big body. For some people, that's kind of a plus. So, you know, depending on what camp you're in. In the Nikon menu settings, and you can find all this in your instructions of your camera, but in the menu settings, you can tell it which battery to draw from first, the battery in the grip or the actual battery in the camera itself. I always have mine set to draw from the grip first, because again, if I draw from this one first, I'll have to change that by removing this grip. Huge pain, so I'm always going to try to use the grip first, and as soon as that battery goes dead, I'll just replace that before it runs this one dead. Just my personal preference. Again, it's, you know, it just varies, but you know, that's not a fan of that design, but you know, you just kind of make do with however they have it set up like that. You know, overall, the final verdict on this one, for the money, it's a great grip. It matches the look and feel of the camera without really taking away. I've been using it for a while. I've had no issues with the camera turning off, you know, unexpectedly or anything like that. Battery life has been just the same as if the battery was in the camera body itself. There's no additional drain or anything like that. Having these extra buttons and everything, the extra controls on there is great, so that when you're, you know, you're shooting like this, you know, regular, and then when you quickly switch over to vertical, you've got the other button right there, so that's really handy. Overall, it's a great buy at 50 bucks. You know, you can skip the factory Nikon one, save yourself a few dollars, and you're good to go. I'm sure there's benefits to having the Nikon one. Obviously, it's Nikon, it's factory, you can't really knock it, but if that's out of your price range, the Polaroid wireless performance grip for the D7000 is a great choice.